Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Attacking Third, covering your Philadelphia Union. This is an episode that I'm going to do with my man over here, Pat Bernard. Pat, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great, Gus. We have a Union team that just came out hot and heavy, and who would have thought? Who would have thought that this Union team was going to play like they did on Saturday? Absolutely beautiful.
Listen, just hold your horses for a minute. First,
Oh,
let me say Happy Memorial Day weekend,
yes,
everybody.
yes.
Secondly, I'm gonna need you to hold your horses. Okay, it's one
All
game.
right.
I need to see. I'm a man of consistency. I need to see consistency. Yeah, we had a great game,
So wait,
especially
you're not
after
sold on this bill of goods?
the disaster that was the game against DC. Even though we tied, it was still a disaster. I'm a man of consistency. I need to see consistency. This is one game. I need to see more of this. When's the last time we scored 3 goals?
It's been a long, long time. Listen, Gus.
None.
Um, listen, you have all your rights to be complaining, and rightfully so, that this team needs to have a game like they did on Saturday, especially for your two stars that you got from Saturday. You had Carranza and Daniel Gazak and Carranza both step up majorly on Saturday. You had the Daniel Gazak who was left wide open. I don't know why, hits the goal and finds the back in that with, like I said, plenty of spacing. Then he gets the penalty kick. He pretty much goes up 2-0, and then Chris Donovan with the turnover on the New England resolution with a beautiful pass between the one defender's leg. Julian Carranza kicks it, finds the back in that 3-0. But listen, I don't know if
First of
you
all,
know.
first
Go
of
ahead.
all, first of all, is the New England Revolution, not Resolution One.
Oh. I'm thinking about a pay per view I recently just watched.
Secondly, what was the one difference that you saw on the field from other games?
Well, it was there was more of a swag. There was more of
I'm looking for a specific answer. By the way, I already know the answer to this question. But I'm looking for a specific answer. What was different on the field, not fields? What was physically different on the field?
they play with swag. The defense was better. The
No,
defense was
that's not what
better
I'm
in the
talking about.
backfield.
I'm talking about physically. Who? What was different on the pitch?
Who was different? I mean, your star stepped up. If that's what you're looking for.
There was no Bedoya. Where
Oh
was
well,
he?
yeah. Well, if you're looking for grandpapa,
Bro,
um,
this is what I'm talking about. What
the,
did we
the,
do? What did we do last game? We started with how many in the back?
known for three.
What's that?
No, the last game or this game?
No. The game against the Revolution.
Uh, how many guys they had in the backfield? I was just more focused on the offense and what they were bringing. I was looking at it was I don't know if they had three in the backfield and so forth coming up.
We had Martinez and Flag fall back.
Well,
Elliott,
that you're
Love,
looking at
left us in the middle. We had basically Beisel and Wagner coming on the other side. We have 5 people in the back. No Bedoya, which was huge on the side. We had Carranza coming in a little bit up, and Ua, of course, right up top. And then you had your middle in Martinez, um, Flock, and then Gazdag, which it worked. Finally, Curtin did something to adjust. And what did he do? He adjusted the whole lineup. Listen,
right,
I
right.
understand. I told you guys the other week. I understand what Bedoya brings to the table. It's just not longer on the field. He brings nothing on the field. He does.
Physicality.
I don't think he. I mean, you can use him obviously like for depth. Like you can put him in there. You just can't play him 75 minutes. Not anymore. I mean, the guy's like 35, 36, 37, 38, 40 years old.
Right, that's that's
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
old. That's old.
You can't do that anymore. Soccer's a lot of running. Takes a
Yes, yeah.
toll on you. He's been
A
playing
lot.
for a long time, and not only for the Union, he's played in other teams. Plus, he played for the U.S. for a long time. It is not sustainable for him to be out there. I understand what he brings to the table, but he can do just that from the bench, and you can see we looked a lot better. The vibe, like you said, was a lot smoother. We played with a lot more ease. We were able to open up the middle, right? So Carranza
Mm-hmm.
and Ulak can get their shot. It's a matter of like just taking one for the team. And again, I understand what it means to the Union fans. I understand what it means to the people. I think it's time to sit Bedoya and then just use him for that piece.
Right, and look, Gus, you were complaining. You've been complaining. Where have your starters been? Where are the two superstars of this team been? Where are they? And they showed. They must have listened to the podcast because they showed up big time on Saturday. They were there.
So
Like I
that,
said, you had Daniel Gazdag on his first goal was left wide open with a lot of spacing, and he just capitalized. They wasn't getting too crazy with the passing. They just saw the open shot it, and that was fine. I was fine with that. And then he gets the penalty kick, and then Julian Carranza just puts the icing on the cake by Chris Donovan getting that nice turnover, taking it downfield, making the pass through the defender's leg, finding Julian Carranza open, finds it, wins the game. New England goes down, the Union go up. Case closed. But Gus, I mean, I don't know if you realize, but the Union here, regular game season play, the Union have won 5 out of 7, and the two I left out were only draws. So I mean, the Union are starting to trend up. I mean, I get it. The last couple of games, they've only won by 1 point differential. I get it. I see your concerns because they were a juggernaut of a team last year. But maybe this team took a little bit more time to gel. And maybe they're starting to wake up to a couple of things. And listen, I know I'm all into this pool, but you're still holding
that
back on me.
you're always into everything. You
Oh yeah. Oh.
you flip more than a pancake. This is
Yes,
crazy.
I do. I am. I am like a pancake. Right now, I'm not. My cheeks ain't getting burnt.
Here's the thing. The games that we did tie, we just didn't look good, and you know because of Blake, because of our defense, like we were able to at least pull out a tie, but we didn't look good, and that's my main concern is that I don't. Yes, I will take the point rather than the loss all day long. But there's going to come a time where we're going to need to like, just switch into another gear, and this is it. This is the time. With this win, we were able to jump to fifth on the table, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You need this win. You look again.
So when
Yeah,
you look at it from since he's sitting up top, right? Now we're 9 points away from Cincy at the moment, so that's 3 wins, right?
yes.
If we just beat New England, so we're a little closer to them. We're only 3 points out. We're only we're only 4 points from second place. So in the next 2 to 3 games, we can very well jump to second place.
Yeah,
So
you
we
can.
we, we just have to make sure that we were able to actually perform like we did against New England. They've been playing well all year. I mean, they're sitting at number three. They're sitting at the third spot of the table. They've been playing well all year, and we were able to go ahead and play the Union soccer that we saw last year and win.
Is this your typical Philly thing? You struggle with the bottom feeders and stuff like that, but with a contender, you just blow the doors off of them. And New England, like you said, was sitting in the third seed, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a long day at the beach. And however, no, the opposite was for Philly and the Union, Carranza, and Daniel Gazdag. I mean, literally beat the brakes off New England. So
Yeah, it's infuriating. It's definitely a Philly thing. It happens to everybody. The Eagles, the Phillies. Well, the Phillies
yes,
not right now because Nola is doing something. Uh, yeah, but but yeah, it's infuriating. But like I said, like I don't wanna count my chickens. So what I want to see from the Union in the next couple matches, especially again this next one coming up because it's a big one. It's every time we go against New York, it's a big deal. So what I want to see is I want to see consistency. Um, I definitely want to see, especially against New York, the same formation that we had against New England. I think that
Mhm.
that's going to work for us right now. With them falling back a little bit, it's giving the middle just a little more room to work, which it looks like Gazdag needs that at the moment.
Right.
So I'm willing to give it to him as long as we have the two up top and they don't get tired or anything like that. We'll be absolutely fine. We just have to
Right.
make sure that we're able to sustain that and keep the other team from getting easy shots.
Right. So let me ask you again. You've I know if I had heading into this game, I had a bunch of question marks surrounding Jim Curran. Did a lot of them savvy for you to you? Like maybe like maybe against DC, you're like I don't know what's he thinking, what's he thinking, and then what was the major? How can I put? What was the major adjustments from DC's game to this game as far as the coaching aspect?
The formation. His scheme doesn't change.
Okay.
His game doesn't change. And it works. So I can't really tell him to or expect him to change. It's just where he puts the pieces, right? Where he can work it. He knows that Gastag needs a little more space because if you notice, when in for the whole first half of the season, Gastag touched the ball in the middle and he was surrounded by three people immediately, and that was on purpose. That's because they saw what
Right.
happened last year. If you give guys like just a little bit, he can create, right? He's
Right.
been doing that for a little while now for us. Um, so in terms of scheme, no, I don't expect it to change. The formation is huge because the formation allows you to kind of dictate what goes on the field. Now, if you need to, that's the beautiful thing about it is that if you need to switch it, that's just one sub. So you bring in Bedoya, um, or well, McLean's not going to be back because he's still playing for the U.S. But let's say you bring in Bedoya if you see that it's not working or if you see that we're not creating. If you bring in Bedoya in the 75th, I'm okay with that, right?
Right.
He's fresh. He's still slow as hell, but
Yeah,
but he's
the
fresh.
game could be pointless by then.
Right, but not only that, like if you need a score, right, you can bring him in and he can contribute because he's not dying by the end of the game when it's
Right.
already too late.
So you
But
look for
that's
him to come off
even
the
if you
as a
need it.
rotational piece.
Yeah, yeah. It's off the bench, man. I think he's ran his course as a starter for Philadelphia.
Mm,
I mean, I may be wrong. Curtin might just keep him as a starter. If it was my team and I
no,
was a
no.
coach, no way.
All right, well, Gus, look, we've touched on the coach, we've touched on, some of the benching. Touch on what you saw from Daniel Gazak and Julian Carranza from this game. For what was more surprising to you that you're like, wow, I can't believe they actually showed up today. What was the big thing for you about these two guys, the two stars of the team?
They got on the bus and showed up to the game. That was the thing. Carranza's been playing hard the whole year, so I can't really put a lot on him. His inability to score at the beginning of the season wasn't because of lack of trying, wasn't because lack of effort. You can tell that he wanted to. He was there. It was just a matter of timing. So when that timing is off from whether that's chemistry or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
when that's off, it's hard to score. Like last year again, it came easy because the timing was there, and he was able to be there at the right time, so he could just put the ball in. This series, you can see the balls are there, but the timing isn't exactly correct. He takes a little while to kick the ball off. He can't find his footing, or he loses it right on the box as soon as he touches the ball. Carranza's still very bad at playing with his back to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I can live with that if you're scoring. If you're not scoring, yeah, I'm gonna need you to work on that, homeboy, because it's gonna be something that's gonna help you.
Well, Gus,
Um,
he's usually a facilitator. I mean, he's second in the league in assists, but right, I mean, like I said, when you have all that spacing and you're capitalizing on it, this
he's
is what
good
I
at
need
it.
from you.
He's good at it. That's not his job. His job is to score goals.
Right.
And when you have a player like Ua on the other side, it comes easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Gazdag really because when you think about it, Gazdag plays in the middle, but he'll position himself to score almost
Right.
every time. So, Carranza has chances to kind of throw in multiple ways so he can get that assist because he demands such attention. Because the guy can finish. Like when you look at it, like he can finish, right?
Right.
So I think it's a matter of timing for him. If you just tweak that, fix that, he'll be just fine. He's starting to score a little more and more as the games go by. Now that we don't have any extra games, given the champions or the Open,
Yeah.
um, I think they're able to focus a little bit more on the season itself, and we're going to see some results.
Well, absolutely, and I think, like I said, Saturday was to me a big thing. Like I just said earlier, I don't know if it's your typical Philly thing where they play high to the expectations, play against a top seeded team, top tier team, and then play low, bomb, just your typical Philly thing, just playing low to the expectations, playing lows to lows against bottom
Yeah,
feeders and play highs to highs. But however, I can't turn, and I'm hoping is a game changer. I hope this is where things starting to turn in favor of the Union. Like I said, they've won 5-7. I get it. You beat the Red Bulls by 1 point. You beat Colorado by 1 point. You're still like, I don't know what this team is offensively. I don't know what's going to happen. And then when your two major stars that you rely on, like I said, Julian Carranza is a guy who knows is take it up the middle. And if you give Daniel Gazak anywhere on that field with some time, he's dangerous, and you saw it Saturday. And I mean, he was some right outside that box, and he landed that shot. I mean, where the goalie had difficulty getting through, and yeah. So I mean, like I said, I got to tip my cap, and then of course. New England made a dumb thing, makes a dumb penalty, leaves him in charge of the free kick, and that's somebody you don't want taking kicks on you because he will pay, he'll pay dividends for the Union, which he did. That took this team 3-0. So I mean, like I said, maybe these are good. Like I said, maybe these are things are good to come. Maybe this is going to start changing the momentum and the flow of the water. Maybe start the change of the tide of the water. Maybe things are going to be happening better for the Philadelphia Union.
yeah, and I hear you, and then I can see, given the last game, obviously you have something to be excited about,
Oh yeah.
because you're hoping that they keep going. But I like to see consistency. So you can show me that you can do this for, let's say, three to four games consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're talking, because then after that, now we're fighting for the number one spot. Um,
Right.
I don't know why, but I feel like Cincy's gonna fall
You think so?
any week now. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't think they can sustain that. Again, this is just a feeling I have. I'm not sure if I'm right or not. Maybe they'll take it all the way. I don't think they will, and we need to be within striking distance so we can get ourselves a chance.
Well, listen, they definitely need to. Like I said, they're sitting in the fifth seed, which ain't bad. It's better than what it was 2 weeks ago. We were just outside of playoffs looking in, and here you are in the middle of the road. You still have a little bit more work to do. Like you said, the key word for your Philadelphia Union is consistency. Can they keep this up? Can they play hard like they did? Can they read the defense? You saw it, Chris Donovan coming up big, just reading where that kid wanted to go with the ball from New England, and he picked them apart and made them pay dividends on it and turn the ball over. And like I said, right between the defender's legs to find Julian Carranza wide open all alone for the breakaway goal was just a thing of beauty. And that's what you're going to need, especially now you're going to be heading into New York at Sid Field, to face this NYFC team. And granted, again, another team who's lost 4 or 5 on the road, who hasn't played at home for over a month. So now they're going to be getting ready to, they're looking their chops. Nick Cushing, I don't know, sorry if I'm butchering his name, but the head coach came out today. He said they're refreshed, they're ready to go, and they know that dealing with the Union is going to be tough, knowing they just came off this big win. So Gus, are you ready for action at City Field?
Yeah, man. We're always ready. We play well over there. I don't. Let me not say well. We play hard over there. We
Right.
always do. If we play hard, that's all we can ask for. They have a couple people that they can put the goals to goals, but it's been pretty alright. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Morales, same thing. That you got to watch out for him. Still, he can do his thing in the middle there. And their defense is they've changed a little bit since last year. Of course, no Collins. He left the club. But they're able to plug just guys into his position, kind of with the same skill level. So what we got to do is we got to do the same thing we did against New England, which is play our game. That's really all I can ask. There is no you you know how do you know how the let's talk football for a second. You know how the Eagles, no matter or the NFC East, right? No matter how good these teams are, it's always a hard game,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's always a tough game. You're always going to be in each other's throats. You're always going to be in each other's nose. It's always a tough game, no matter what the skill level of the team. The team can be 3-10, and then 10-3 on the other side, right? And it's still a hard game. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's what they are. Their rivalry. There's a rivalry there with New York. So, and I'm not even talking about the MLS. I'm talking about the city. Period. So,
Right. Yes.
so it's always gonna be tough. Um, what I suspect that's gonna happen, and don't kill me for this because I know how excited you are, but I
No.
think I think we go over there and we go 1-1.
Really, you're thinking it's a tie? No, listen. Like I said, they're coming off a bye week. Like I said, this is their first trip back at home. They've been all over the road, and really, they're actually undefeated at home. So, if anything, in a couple ties, so they have yet to taste a defeat at home. So, I would love no more than for the Union to keep this momentum that they have, carry it up to Citi Field, and beat the brakes off them as well. But like you said, when it comes to a Philly and New York matchup, you could take that rook, the record book and throw it right out the window because the records don't mean nothing. This is a dogfight that you signed up for, and you're going to get it come Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, rather.
Yeah, which is why I'm sitting right there. I don't think that I think they keep their streak going, but at
Mm-hmm.
least we get 1 point out of it. And again, if we can win the next, I want to say if we can win the next 4 out of 5,
Right.
um, we should be okay in terms of standing. But I'll take the point. I just I don't feel like we go over there and kind of do the same thing that we did to New England.
Well, I mean, like you said, guys, in a way, for your perspective, they're going to have to do that because if they don't, and it's just your 1-1 game or whatever 0-0, then like you said, in the back of your mind, well, guys, like like this is where all my questions are coming back. And don't forget, the NYFC got embarrassed to the Philadelphia Union in the Eastern Conference Championship. So whoever went out of this game last year went on for the MLS Cup, and the Union beat them 3-1. So I don't know if the revenge factor is still there because they asked Nick
Do
Kusin
you think they forgot?
about it. No,
You
no,
think
they definitely didn't.
Hell
So
no.
so
Here's the
so
thing, and I think I said it the first show of the season that we had. The Union, any game that we play, we're going. They're coming after us. Why?
yes,
Because we were there in the finals last
yes.
last year. It was going to happen no matter what. The people were bitter. They didn't think we were good enough, good enough to be there. We showed that we were, but they're bitter that the Philadelphia Union with not having a big signing and not spending all this money was able to make it to, well, one, fight for the supporter shield, and two, make it to the MLS final. So yeah, every game that we play going forward is going to have this kind of animosity against the Union because they want to show that last year was a fluke. Now so far, they're proving it right.
Well, not just
I
that
want
to
to
me.
change that.
Like I said, to me, it was just more the fact that okay, you're the champions. Okay, you were damn well good. You pretty much ran the league last year. You sat at the top of not just the conference, but the whole MLS. I mean, you were the top. You were the cream of the crop. So to me, it was more of a factor. Okay, these guys or the cream of the crop. They got the targets on the back for us. For especially for all the bottom feeder teams who looked and turned their season around. Let's give the Union the best punch we possibly can. Let's tell us where we're at as a measuring stick. So what we need to work on, pieces that we could develop and all this up. But the first thing we got to do is see how we match up against the Philadelphia Union. We know how Jim Curtin is very creative. And going against them, that's why I said at the beginning of the season, I said, I mean, I thought we were going to have the same outcome, but I said, look out, the street signs there. It says, you are the measuring stick, and these guys are going to play their hardest against the Philadelphia because they know, hey,
Totally.
listen, you know what I mean? So, like I said, you see teams now trying to turn their seasons around. The DC United are not the same bottom feeder teams as they were last year. They've turned things around, and of course, when they see Philly on the schedule, they got to play
Well,
10 times harder.
they're playing a little bit better. I
A
don't know
little
about
bit better,
turn.
yeah, a little. Not too much, but I mean, still, but I mean,
But you're right. And like I said, we just have to make sure that we Curtin has to make sure that they're ready for a dogfight every game really. But that's usually how we come out anyway. So I wasn't too worried about it. It was more of the sloppiness that we've shown in the beginning of the
right.
season that was worrying me a little bit, and I just jotted as the rust. But rust you can shake off in like maybe 2 games. It's
No,
been a
what's your
while
name's
now.
Ranger Suarez, but
Rust is no longer it shouldn't be an issue any longer. So
no,
now this is it. After a win like you just had against New England, you need to turn around. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we smack the hell out of New York, and we can. I'm not saying that there's no way. I don't think that we do. I think we go up there. At least we don't lose 1-1 for us.
and listen, like I said, if that happens, then I'm on the canoe with you. I don't know if this team's got it. I mean, I don't know if the consistency is going to be. They're going to have these outbursts here and there. I mean, you just like I said, won 5 out of 7 with 2 draws. I mean, so you have yet to. It's been a while since you had a taste of defeat as well. So I get it. New York's fresh up. They're coming off a bye, and they're well, really, really good at home. That's where they collected most of their W's, but it's only been 4. So I mean, look, maybe they're just due to get their loss. So like I said, hopefully the momentum has changed and all that stuff. But listen, let me get through quick some of these sponsors roll fast, and then we're getting ready to wrap up the show. Um, so with that being said, let me quickly go through some of these sponsors here. Once I get to where I need to get to.
Our
Uh,
wonderful people. When I punch Pat in the face,
oh,
what are you gonna
oh.
call?
Not your dad, because your dad didn't follow up with it. But we call David
My,
R. Cherry Esquire. Call
my
David R.
man.
Cherry. Call David R. Cherry Esquire today. Working compensation, miracle vehicle accident, personal injury, like Gus is planning on doing to me, criminal law. Call him up at 610-565-0300.
And if you are ready to go to any event, sports, concerts, theater, whatever the case may be, you got to check out our people at Sherry's Ticket Town, man. Sherry'sTickets.com, family owned and operated since 1946. Sherry's Ticket Town is where you need to go to get your tickets. And if you use the promo code EOP10, you save 10%. Who doesn't like to save money? Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, listen, Philly Sports Trips, as you see, is right there on your screen. If you guys want to go to Kansas City, it's right there for you. You guys want to go to Big Dallas? I know it says, but we got to fix this graphic here because the dates are out. So you guys want to go to Tampa Bay? You guys want to go to Seattle? You guys want to go to LA? You guys want to go this? I don't want to say this to see the champs. If you guys want to go to New England, whatever, Dallas, look, go to phillysportstrips.com. And matter of fact, for you Union heads are checking in there. I don't know if I think they already have it wrapped up, but keep your eye on phillysportstrips.com as they plan on doing some more Union trips. as they plan on going to New York this weekend with our man Jamie, the Philly sports guy. But all right, well, with that being said,
Listen, and I got to tell you, I know they beat us, but Kansas, you can go. They're very nice people over there. They're weird fans. Some of the weirdest
yeah,
ever. They're
well,
really nice over
wait
there.
till they get the
And you
news.
know what? I gotta tell you, the barbecue alone is worth the trip. So go ahead and book that, man. It's gonna be good. Plus
You know,
Arrowhead, I've been there. It's
oh,
a
you're
nice
talking
place.
about Arrowhead. I thought you were talking about Emmett Street with weird people. I was like, well, hello. But yeah,
No,
no, you're just
you.
talking. Oh, got totally confused. But anyway, listen here, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Yeah, we're gonna do a little early one today, but next week will be full throttle. Hopefully,
Full
Gus's
throttle.
prediction goes wrong,
I
and
hope
I'm
I'm wrong,
hoping
man. I'm
yes.
hoping.
But Gus is a honest man, and he keeps it straight with you 100. And listen, you know me, I already got the blue and gold Teddy Ways on, so no need for images. But guys, thank you so much for checking us out, and go Union.